Let's get things started this afternoon. T-Systems and SharpCloud working together. They're both here to tell you why, and we want to hear about why they're working together. So please give a big round of applause to Mr. Sarim Khan, the co-founder of SharpCloud, and Mr. Ralph Oldenburg, the head of application management for Microsoft, or I should say Microsoft Solutions, T-Systems. Please give them a round of applause. There they are right there. You guys came on the stage faster than I was. All right, gentlemen, have fun.
Thank you, Brent. I'm Sarim Khan, co-founder of SharpCloud Software.
Yeah, I'm Ralph Oldenburg. I've been working for T-Systems Multimedia Solutions, and T-Systems Multimedia Solutions stands for consulting, integration, application development, and support around web applications. And we support you, our customers, on the way into the digital transformation.
So I guess in the next 15 minutes, what Ralph and I will do is give you an overview of the service that we put together for enterprise. But also, from my perspective, it's great to be back here on center stage after last year, where we came here as a very small company, and we're still a small company, but where we've made a lot of success in the last year. And probably the biggest thing we've done in the last 12 months is sign a global partner agreement with T-Systems Multimedia Solutions. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. And if you do get a chance, we're at the we're in the Scale 11 hall this year, and we're on booth A41, and we have T-shirts in all of your sizes. Okay, so just a little bit about SharpCloud. Some of you may know this from last year, but we're really a way for enterprises to visually be more productive. What does that really mean for lots of companies? What it actually means is enterprises are pretty productive anyhow with presentations and spreadsheets and knowledge management systems and data stores and data warehouses. And generally, people want to pull information from all of those sources to tell their business stories. And what SharpCloud does really well for those enterprise companies is when they're trying to tell, when teams of people are trying to tell complex stories, SharpCloud does a brilliant job at pulling together what you already have to be productive, plus some other dimensions. So the visuals in SharpCloud, the relationship mode, which allows you to understand relationships across complex stories, the ability to share time and understand how time interacts with complex stories such as portfolios or innovation. Okay, so that's a little brief of SharpCloud, and I will be demoing the product live. It's actually live. It's going to be running live over the internet. But if I hand over to Ralph to tell you a little bit about us.
Yeah. Last year, same time, here at the CeBIT, we met first time. And over that last year, we have worked together to bring that story forward. And we are really convinced in SharpCloud product and in the team of Sarim and his company. And from the beginning, right from the beginning, it was a really excellent understanding and a cooperation. And this makes it so easy for us to work together to bring a great product, a great support to our customers. And the product is really a new way of visualizing information with integration of your data you want to see and your stories you want to build up. And yeah, during the last year, we spent a lot of time understanding each other, working together, and understanding the vision and what we can do. And we have talked to a lot of customers, and every time when we talk to customers coming out of a different branch, we get new ideas, new use cases, how to use SharpCloud, how to integrate it in their business. And that's really great.
And I think just one thing to add to that, what we have seen, aside from working with T-Systems Multimedia Solutions, is our own direct customers have been saying to us, really what you need at SharpCloud now is the ability to help us to embed the software better in enterprise, help us with the systems integration, and also look at more of the advisory aspect of creating the stories in SharpCloud. And I'll show you what they mean by that. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a very high-level overview of what we see as trends in the market for our customers. our enterprise customers are definitely talking about 5 key things that we see everywhere. The first one is this sort of agile everywhere. A lot of companies are talking about digital transformation. Really, from our perspective, what we see them saying to us is, we want to take little pockets of people from the company, get them working together fast across silos, and we want to then maybe even share that information not only within the company, but outside the company. And SharpCloud lends itself very cleanly to doing that kind of work within weeks, if not days, for most enterprise businesses. The second trend that we've noticed is the CXO are a bit more digital native. So we're now starting to see people in their 30s in quite senior positions across organizations. And that, again, is very interesting. When we talk to younger people in their 30s who are now in leadership positions, they're looking for consumer-grade business tools. And I think what our mission is to have almost a zero end-user training product. We're not quite there, but we're working with our customer advisory board to actually find a way for the user interface to be very intuitive and self-explanatory. The third key trend that we've seen is certainly in some of the more traditional industries we're involved in, such as the oil and gas industry or government. There's a lot of discussion about corporate memory, where older people are retiring with very key information, and we need this information back in the enterprise, particularly with young staff, and that's something that really SharpCloud can help companies to distribute well within our knowledge-based stories. The fourth one is very correlated to the work we're doing with T-Systems Multimedia Solutions. A lot of companies are now saying to us, we're not an IT company, we're an oil company. We're actually we're looking towards Office 365. We're in love with Microsoft. We want to outsource a lot of this work. So actually, we want to focus as a company on our core business. And that is a very important part of why we're partnering with T-Systems Multimedia Solutions. And the last trend that we've seen, which is I think it's quite a unique trend to SharpCloud, is SharpCloud lends itself really well to companies innovating not just within their organization, but across their industry. A good example is the rail industry in the UK is currently working with us or in discussion with us to do innovation across the rail industry. But they're already thinking about innovation that maybe crosses rail, road, space, and manufacturing. So actually collaborating on industrial problems. OK, so bearing in mind we've only got 6 minutes left, there are many different digital use cases for SharpCloud. But the one I'm going to pick out specifically is portfolio management. And that is because T-Systems Multimedia Solutions is not only a partner, but they're also a customer. And if I look at how they use SharpCloud, they've actually created this brilliant story around their portfolio with 2 different lenses on that knowledge. One lens for the sales team, so that the sales team always knows what the internal portfolio is, and actually how they take that portfolio out to market. But from a second lens, and a different sort of visual lens on that story, which is much more for the executives within their business. I don't know if you want to say a bit more about that, Ralph.
Yeah, the business has normally another view as a salesperson, and we have a third view also, because all the employees at T-Systems Multimedia Solutions are interested in to know which portfolio in summary we have, and to, let's say, drill down into the information, to get the information who is responsible for what, who is supporting which topic and which portfolio element.
And just sort of, I'm actually going to show you a little product demo now, and we'll run that live. But just before we kind of move on, you can see the audience. So the actual audience that we're talking to is really right across enterprise. But I would say that we tend to start working where an enterprise has a complex communication problem. And that tends to be in strategy, road mapping, innovation, new product development, R&D. So topics generally within the business where they really struggle to articulate some of the relationships and key aspects of that. So if we just go to a different SharpCloud story, so I'm just running this from my iPad, and maybe to say here, so the SharpCloud story I'm about to open up now is an IT roadmap, and it feels like a bit of a complex story. Not all SharpCloud stories are this complex. They can be very simple stories. But I want to show off some of what we can do. So I'm just going to show you a few of the different aspects of the views. So in this particular view, I'm in an IT roadmap. I can see the different swim lanes of the roadmap: transformational tech, hardware, software, advanced apps. And I have many different views as a stakeholder on this roadmap. Now, what I mean by as a stakeholder is because I have this on an iPad, somebody has published this story to me. And usually this kind of story would have been created by the enterprise architects or the team that works for the CIO. So there might have been a disparate team pulling together this information where when they're ready, they publish it to me, and then I can then actually become engaged in it. So actually, before we do that, just to sort of show you how that would work, I can actually even see the social thread, so the context of the social thread behind this story from the team that created it. So I can see how the IT team is actually discussing these aspects. So let's have a look at some of the differences between SharpCloud and maybe other presentation tools. So as a stakeholder, I can actually play with this knowledge. I can play with this story. So I'm looking at, for instance, here, a 3D view of this IT roadmap, and I can see here how social computing is related to other activities in my roadmap. And if I double-click on this, I go into what we call relationship mode. And in relationship mode, I can actually get a little bit of commentary about how these things impact other projects in my roadmap. And SharpCloud allows me to go through a bit of a train of thought. So I can start to go through a bit of a train of thought analysis and really start to understand what the relationships are between my different programs. But I can do much more than this. I could even look at them across time. So I guess one of the things we learned from our past was executives do not really take well to Gantt charts that come out of a project management system or detailed data analysis. So in SharpCloud, what we can do here is we can see, for instance, at a high level how things are related, but I could even filter this down, and I could say, OK, well, just show me now from my live SharpCloud dynamic story what the high priority items are in my roadmap here. And I can do that for projects or IT or whatever we were communicating. And this is a very big difference to most other executive communications. OK, so there's a few other things I'd quite like to sort of quickly show to you. Maybe some of the other different views that we know have become very powerful are the ability to compare some of the KPIs. So here I'm comparing cost and risk and sizing by confidence. So in portfolio analysis, generally this might be called a bubble chart. And what it does allow me to do very quickly is to select projects that are more relevant and maybe will be more successful. But I can even open up some of these projects and start to understand the materials inside them. So for instance here, I'm looking at an item called cloud computing. I can see the PowerPoint presentations. I can see the social thread. And if I wanted to, I could even watch videos for this particular item. So I have this much more tactile place where I can really find out more about what's happening on this roadmap. OK, before we close off, we'd like to just talk to you about one last thing, which is the service that we are bringing together. And if, Ralph, you could briefly touch on that for me? Yeah, sure. Thank you. T-Systems Multimedia Solutions is an integrator, and in addition to the product of SharpCloud, we offer a full service. Full service means consultants will talk with you, with our customers, what your needs are, which stories you want to build up, and which hosting model you want to have. We offer hosting packages on Microsoft Azure as well as on the T-Systems Cloud. If you want to have it on-premise, no problem, we support that also. And in addition to consulting, we support you on integration of external data. We can integrate any data warehouse you want to have, any data you want to see live in a SharpCloud system, in your story. And we can also support to integrate your branding, your corporate style into the web application. And at the end, we will support that system around the clock if you want on these various platforms. Thank you.
That's the story.
Thank you so much.